It's the DORK podcast. It's the DORK podcast. Rich Keefe. It's the DORK podcast. Hashtag. It's the hashtag DORK podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Hashtag Dork. My name is Rich Keefe, joined as always by Davey Eyeballs. He is Ruku Von Dooku. He is promo code Ron Von D. All hail the king of ginger ale. It's Ryan Davey. Davey, how are you?
Not good, Rich. I'm not good. Not good tonight.
Good.
We're not off to a good start tonight.
What the fuck happened?
You bitch stole my look. You stole my look.
No, this is an homage.
This is an homage. A homage?
Davey does a lot of really good work for Movember, raises a lot of money, and I figured I would go. I never go mustache because I can't pull it off.
No,
you're an absolute scoundrel.
It looks pretty good. I'm not mad at it.
All right.
I ain't mad at you.
Okay. I have put up a sign outside my house, free mustache rides following the podcast.
Believe it or not, if you do partake in Movember, you do get your fair share of questions of whether or not you offer mustache rides, whether you want to or not.
Of course,
it's incredibly inappropriate, but people still ask. You know.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can get into specifics about what you're referring to, but
I would rather not. I would rather not do that. No,
it's about that season too,
it's
Ryan.
About that season,
Thanksgiving pie season.
Here we go.
Hey.
Stock up at your local grocer.
Just a couple of guys having fun, you know.
Guys being dudes, a little locker room talk.
That's all it is.
We're just being broy, right? Is that what Twin City Geek said?
It is. Yeah, we are a little broy, but they were very fond of the podcast overall.
Another thing, it was the one review we've ever actually official review we ever got.
That's right,
and I'm thankful for
publication.
It. Mm-hmm. All the way from Minnesota.
It's not a bad mustache. You like how I have it kind of hanging down a little?
I like it kind of. Yeah. You have to get a little. If you do just the top lip, you need a little bit, just to let them know what you're dealing with. That it's not an accident. That you did that on purpose.
No, like here, I'm here to kick some ass.
You are one of the people too. I'm looking at it right now. Your mustache hair is a different color than your actual hair.
Yeah, it's light. It's way lighter.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either. It's almost like a mahogany color.
I don't care for it. I don't care for it, but I thought I would do something nice for the podcast here.
No, it looks great. Thank you so much for your support.
And by the way, Ryan, for people that want to get involved with Movember, What's the best way to do it?
So the best way to do it is through the site. I'm going to also go through, if you look at my pinned tweet on Twitter, it's there too. My actual URL, I believe it's like, there's no www. It's like https://Movember.com. And then I think it's, sorry, 1 second. I have to find the thing. Movember.com/m/rvond.
Okay, cool.
So I'll tweet that out at the back end of this episode too, but that's the best way to do it. Donate to me or donate to the team. The good update is I actually hit my goal for the month. So our goal is $2,000. We've raised over $2,500 right now.
Nice.
We'll get into this a little bit later. $2,700 for the Dork Shared Gooniverse team. Dr. Joe has hopped on board. So if you guys want it, there's about a week left. So if you guys want to jump on and see what it's all about, please do that.
Get in there.
Right
and then you got something planned next Monday as well?
So it's going to work I'm going to do, and this is very hard for me to do, as you know. I am going to play guitar and sing on stream, and it's going to work just like I would be playing at a bar. So if you put $5 in for a donation, you get to request a song.
Love it.
It's a very 90s alternative rock themed.
Oh,
so we're doing 90s night.
Okay.
So anything you can play on an acoustic guitar and sing it, I will try my best. And $5 will get you a request. All you have to do is go on the Movember page, donate at least $5. More is great, but $5 is the suggested price. And just put in where the caption is, put the title of a song.
All right.
And I'll fucking fire it in there for you.
Suggestion for you as well.
Yeah.
Maybe come up with a lengthy list of stuff that you kind of know, and then that way, if people start suggesting bullshit, you're all right, you sort of cut to it. I know you know a lot of stuff, but you might as well give people sort of a general net.
Yeah. So the net would be anything. So I'm not going to play fucking Korn on an acoustic guitar.
You don't have enough strings.
I need one extra string.
You need a whole extra string, so you're not playing Korn. I might request Korn, but you're not playing Korn.
Yeah, I'm not playing Korn. Yeah,
fair enough. All right, that's fine. So that's Monday. Check out Davey. Go to his Twitch. Go to twitch.tv/rvond and subscribe to that, and he'll be firing up next week. Ryan, let's get to the news.
This week in Dork. Yeah.
All right, as we've been doing here throughout the season 2 of The Mandalorian, we'll do a quick hit on episode 4 here, and then at the end of the podcast, we'll do a little bit more spoilers, and at the end of the season, we'll do a full-on episode of The Mandalorian. But episode 4, did you like it?
I sure did.
Yeah, it was good.
It was a good one.
It was good. I liked it too. I think episode 3 was still my favorite, but episode 4 was good. A little bit more of the Star Wars lore was used there. And I am curious, too, as to how much The Mandalorian, which, as we know, takes place a handful of years after Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
How much are they going to dip into the new trilogy and, like, sort of connecting some dots for stuff that happens later on in Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker?
Well, we got a little bit of that.
Yeah, we did.
And we got a little bit of almost... what's the game that just came out? The
Fallen Order?
Fallen Order. We got a little bit of that too.
Yeah, they're opening a couple of things up that wasn't necessarily canon, and now they're sort of saying is now canon.
Yeah, so there was something that happened at the end, which gave me the Fallen Order vibe. Yeah.
I like that. Speaking of things that I like, Ryan, and so we'll do more spoilers on that at the end.
Yeah.
But Michael B. Jordan, no surprise to me, named the sexiest man alive.
Just for this year, and then People Magazine's going to pick somebody else. But, I don't know how they call you the sexiest man alive for 1 year.
Yeah, I think you're like always that guy.
If you're still alive, then you would be the sexiest man alive still. I don't know how that works. But
somebody could be more sexy. Like, I've had 2002 was a particularly sexy year for me.
Yeah.
2003 was less sexy. I brought sexy back again in 2004.
Good for you.
So I feel like I've had hot and cold years. It's been a cold few years now for your boy, but
I think 2000 was my peak sexiness.
You were super sexy 2000. I knew you in 2000. That was a good year for you.
Yeah,
I think it was some of that Y2K sexiness too.
I think it was too. The world was ending, so people were looking around for like somebody to kind of something to latch onto.
You felt dangerous.
Yeah, I did. I did.
This is a guy. He messes around here. That was 20 years ago, though, my dude.
It was 20 years ago. I'm aware. Nobody is more aware of that than I am. Trust me.
I couldn't be more aware. A lot of people claim to have peaked in high school. I still maintain that my best year, physically, socially, academically, athletically, 8th grade. I was a goddamn rock star in 8th grade.
Well, that's going to get brought up later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hang on to that. That's a big market tease for the topic du jour, by the way.
Keep that under your hat. All right. Good for Michael B. Jordan, though. That's the only guy I would have voted for. I don't know who else would have even received.
Who else? I mean, once you mention his name, usually like there are some.
Who else would you put up there? Who else?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds is a sexy dude, isn't he?
Oh God, yeah, and funny.
Smart. He's funny. Hits the funny bone, but he's also shredded.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'd put him up, but he my point is when he was named sexiest man alive, you're like, yeah, of course, that makes sense. Right, but Michael B. Jordan, I understand. That's completely understandable. I get it.
Let's just say I get it.
Oh yeah,
it was funny. A couple of years ago, I think Blake Shelton won, and one of the best comments I saw was, "He's probably not even the sexiest Blake Shelton." I was like, yeah, probably not. Yeah, like how the fuck did that guy win? But anyway,
who knows?
Ryan, this news. I teased ahead. I was like, I'm going to share some thoughts on the podcast. So, Scream 5 has a release date and a title. The title, simply Scream.
I don't understand.
The release date, January 14th, 2022.
Also, I don't understand.
That's a ways to go, by the way, first of all.
That is a ways to go.
We all got to get there, knock on wood.
Didn't every Scream come out like Halloween?
I feel like October would have been a sweet spot for this.
Like, you can't move that up to October?
I would have liked it to be in October. So here's the thing. a lot of horror movies that have like these franchises and then have all these numbers on them, it gets to a point where like they're kind of silly. And like what blank 5 is like a really good movie? Probably none. Right? Like
Rocky.
Saw 5. Rocky 5, great example. The worst Rocky.
Worst Rocky.
It's Tommy the Machine Gun.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace. Horrible movie. But what they're doing is they're taking a page out of their new Halloween and the new Candyman, where they're like, hey, we're just going to call it the fucking name of the original movie, which is confusing. But we're going to bring back the cast. So if you're bringing back Courtney Cox, David Arquette, and Neve Campbell, it's still in the screen. So it's not a reboot. It's not a remake.
It's not a reboot. No.
It is a sequel. Are they going to get rid of any of the other sequels? Because that's also what Halloween did, and that's also what Candyman is going to do.
I mean, the only Scream you would probably want to get rid of is 3, right?
Yeah, 3. And they almost did in 4. Like they didn't never reference it, as you pointed out. They never even brought it up. But like 2, I think you need, unless you don't want any of that stuff. But I don't see why not.
No, you would.
3's the weird one because 3's like, oh, she had a stepbrother she didn't know about. You're like,
which is that's dumb.
That's bad.
But you also missed, and I said this in a tweet too, when you tweeted it out. The M in Scream is formed in such a way where you missed an opportunity where the M comes to a point to make that into a Roman numeral 5.
Yeah, you could have done that. A lot of people also took the S and just made that a 5.
Well, so the other thing too is my wife pointed out to me that the M with the 5 in it is also the symbol for the band Maroon 5, which is a popular band. But that could be a lot. That could be like a
that's a copyright problem.
That could be litigation. Yeah.
Nah, that's a good point.
You don't want to get tied up in court. You're already 2022 anyway.
But like, if let's just say you're the average consumer, and I know that you're not. You're much better than average. But let's say you're the average consumer, and you're like, Scream 5, I won't see that. But another movie named Scream, I'll see that. Like, does the 5 really throw you off that bad?
And maybe they're banking on the fact that like the original Scream came out in 1996.
Yeah, true. A while ago.
And so like this generation probably has no clue.
No, and that's right. And they had like the TV show, which this will have nothing to do with. They had a Scream series, which had nothing to do with Woodsboro or anything. I'm looking forward to it, obviously, but I'm also kind of a little bit confused, and I don't think it's necessary.
Or no, just to call it Scream? No, it's not.
Or give it a like a colon something. Scream, fucking Sydney Lives or Sydney's Back or something.
Yeah,
Sydney's here to mess up your stuff. Here's some good news.
Slippy.
Slappy. That was way off.
Yeah.
This is good news. Wonder Woman 1984 is coming out on Christmas on HBO Max. It is also coming to theaters for those of you who are still going to and want to go to the theater. But for those of you that are still staying at home on HBO Max, I think it's pretty good deal.
It's the right thing to do. That's the right thing to do. I am very excited.
It's going to do huge numbers.
Yep.
Everyone's going to watch this. During Christmas break, we'll do a standalone episode on it the following week.
Sure will.
I'm excited for this.
And the way things are going, I'm not going to be doing anything else on Christmas.
No, you're not.
I'm going to be putting shit together and watching Wonder Woman.
Batten down the hatches, if you will.
Yeah. Yep.
Literally.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. So we'll do an episode. That'll be our last episode of 2020 before we do whatever we do in 2021. Ryan, you know what? A better guy would have tied this up with the Scream news. This is another horror related thing.
Yes.
Robert Englund, who is known, you would know him from Freddy Krueger.
Fred Krueger, yeah.
Fred Krueger. He is joining the cast of Stranger Things season 4.
They better come with something, season 4, because I'm starting to wane on this show here.
I don't need a season 4. Neither do you. Neither does anybody. I saw they did like a cast reveal thing. It was like, hey, season 4 is going to be crazy. Here's a list of all the people that are in it. And it was like just dudes. I think it was like just white dudes.
It's like, that's who's been in it the whole time.
That's it. That's it. So I don't know. I really don't need it.
But I'm good. I'm good either way. I'll watch it. We'll do an episode on it.
But we'll discuss it as well in the topic du jour, I'm guessing.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ryan, Deadpool 3 is going to be made by Marvel. And some of the scuttlebutt is it still will be rated R.
And it's going to be written by, I believe, a sister duo who are the writers for Bob's Burgers.
Interesting.
So that's very encouraging.
It is.
If you've ever seen Bob's Burgers, is one of like the sneaky funniest shows on TV.
Yes. Yeah. And Ryan Reynolds obviously is full on board. I think he's going to be one of the writers as well.
Yep.
Which is good. And I don't really care. I know a lot of people are like, how are you going to tie him into the MCU? I don't need that. I don't need him in there. I could just more Deadpool movies is good for me.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of like who you would add now, because now the X-Men are technically in the MCU. Like, 'cause they had that one scene with James McAvoy when they like saw him and like closed the door. Like, you need to do something like that, but I would love to see like maybe Thor, or maybe somebody who's funny, who's got who can kind of keep the pace. Like, I don't think seeing Doctor Strange would be very funny, but
yeah, but it might not be bad, and it would also help explain the multiverse stuff, which his movie's going to be.
Yeah, and also
so you might need him as sort of a conduit.
You know, they're going to make fun of the fact that like Tony Stark is dead.
Yes,
they're gonna. There's going to be a joke in there somewhere.
Yes,
that Tony Stark is dead. Yeah,
right.
Like fuck 100%. That guy or whatever.
100%.
You know? Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I need more Deadpool. I watched the original Deadpool last night.
Oh, you did?
Streamed it. Oh yeah,
it's great.
So it's phenomenal.
It is.
My wife and I were watching Utopia. So we finished Utopia. We'll talk about that later.
You finished it?
I finished it, yeah.
All right, I have 2 episodes to go.
Yeah, so we finished it, but I was waiting for her to like watch another episode, and so I just put on Deadpool. And she was like, I turned it off because we were going to watch Utopia. And she's like, no. And she wanted to keep watching it.
I know. I mean, it's great. It sucks you right in. It's good. You can check the archives on our standalone on Deadpool and Deadpool 2.
Yep.
All right, that's the news I got, Ryan. Let's get to the next portion of the program, shall we?
Sure.
This is This Week in Horrible Rossi Takes.
All right, this week in Horrible Rossi Takes, actually going to a friend of the podcast. That would be Nick Fitzy Stevens. He is on Dale and Keefe Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. He tweeted out recently that he does not like, in fact, it's overrated, even bad, Christmas Vacation.
That's fucking stupid.
Isn't that and from Fitzy too, he's a little bit older than us, so like his wheelhouse is 80s, like early 90s comedies.
Yeah.
Right? Like he should have more of an appreciation for Chevy Chase than like you and I do. And yet I don't even like Chevy Chase, but I love Christmas Vacation. And he hates it.
Yeah, it's one of my top 5 Christmas movies. It's one that when growing up, my father insisted that we watch every Christmas Eve. So we would watch Christmas Vacation. That was like a Davey family tradition. And I love that movie for sentimental reasons, but like, it's funny too. I mean, like any early 90s, late 80s movie, it doesn't age particularly well.
No. But I love it. And we are going to do the whole Dork Shared Gooniverse is going to do a top 25 Christmas movies. We're all voting on it, so the list will be interesting. It won't necessarily be me and Davey's top 25, but we will do an episode in the middle of December on that. And without tipping my hand too much, I definitely had it in the top 5. I love it. Yeah. I really enjoy it. It's funny as shit.
And I know there's going to be one fucking dickhead who puts Die Hard in the top 25, and I'm not fucking here for it. And I'm just going to
it's in my top 25, but anyway.
It's not a Christmas movie.
It's not super high, and it is, but that's not what we're doing right now.
But it's not.
It is, and that's for like a month from now.
Is Lethal Weapon a Christmas movie?
Yes, but it's not as good, so I didn't rank it.
Lethal Weapon's more of a Christmas movie than Die Hard is.
It is. I said it is a Christmas movie, but we'll do that next month. We're going to do that next month. We're not doing that now.
You know what? I'm just going to Rossi the whole thing. I'm just going to put Lethal Weapon as my number 1 Christmas movie of all time and just blow the whole fucking thing up. You know what? Fine.
Do you want to be a part of it, or do you not want to be a part of it?
I want to be included in everything, but on my turn. You understand?
I do understand.
I want to be asked and made aware of things,
right?
But only when I want to be.
But I want to complain about it along the way.
The whole time.
Got it.
The entire time, because that's
Rossi is going to be a part of the voting. However, I think more people are going to be a part of this than even our horror movie countdown was.
Yep.
So it should be a pretty interesting list. I'm excited. I already sent mine in. My 25. I'm ready.
I haven't done it yet. I just got on Thanksgiving break right now, so I'll have a little bit more time. But I can't even keep up with the goddamn group chat. So
I am cocked, locked, and ready to rock. I can't wait to get my Christmas tree. I would have gotten it 2 weeks ago, but my wife put the kibosh on that, so we're gonna get it. I think on Monday.
So someone asked in the chat. CT Rebel asked, "What about Gremlins?" Gremlins absolutely is a Christmas movie because Gizmo is a present.
A Christmas present. Oh,
he is
Gremlins
an actual Christmas present
on my list.
Gremlins is absolutely a Christmas movie,
and I love it. And I
love
it so
Gremlins
much
too.
I love it so much. How about this? I went to Target the other day, and I didn't pull the trigger on it because it was a little pricey for my blood. And as you know, Ryan, I am thrifty.
Yeah.
And it was a Christmas decoration. It was the caroling gremlins.
Oh,
it was a 2-pack. So it was 2 singing gremlins. I think it came with like a gingerbread man and maybe something else. How much do you think it cost?
Is it a Funko or is it just like a thing?
No, it wasn't Funko, but it was like kind of like roughly that size, maybe a little bit smaller. It looked like pretty good quality plastic though, and you could set them up.
$24.99.
$40.
Nope, you don't want it. Nope.
So I didn't buy it, but I said I wanted it. And then so my wife told her parents, she was like, "This is what Rich wants for Christmas," and sold out. The fucking thing sold out. You can't find it anywhere now. They're all looking for
that's what you wait.
And then
you and I were like, we'll get a PlayStation. No big deal. Now look at us.
You won't.
Fucking bums. Both of us.
So then, thank you. Look at Steve in the chat. This fucking Steve. I love you, Steve. He says, get Patreon. I'll send you money for the Gremlins. Here's the thing, Steve. The fucking thing sold out. It's
Doesn't
gone.
Matter. Yeah.
My mother-in-law wanted to get it for me. And then so they went online and some jack off is selling it on eBay for $80.
Oh, what a dick.
So I'm not doing that. I'm not going to give that guy $80. It's not worth it.
If we start a Patreon, does one of us have to get naked? Is that one of those things?
No, you're thinking of OnlyFans.
I know, but I think Patreon is that too. They have there's the clientele that
I'll get naked. What the hell?
What do I care? You know,
this is what I look like. This is what I look like.
This is what you get.
What do you want? Now, if it was Keefe in 2000 naked, then you'd have to pay out the nose.
But I mean, now, the thing, it's still an absolute hammer, but the rest of me is grotesque.
I'm absolutely piped down there. Don't worry about it. It's like, no, you're not. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, but I am.
But I obviously am. It's like, you're not. All right, Ryan.
Oh.
It's time for Davey's video game minute. Even if it takes more than a minute.
All right, Ryan, what do you have?
Well, first of all, this segment of the podcast is always brought to you by our friends at Wild Bill's Soda. Now, Wild Bill's has a new website. Instead of wildbillsoda.com, we are now drinkwildbills.com because we're branching out, Richard. We're diversifying. It's not just soda anymore. We got teas. We got hot sauces. We got all sorts of stuff. So drinkwildbills.com. Now they got free shipping over $60. If you say over $60 at Wild Bill's, it's free shipping plus the promo code Ron Von D. Make sure you guys do that. Check out drinkwildbills.com. Tell them Davey sent you. Get you some. Right? It's the holiday season.
I was going to say, it's a good gift this time around because maybe people wouldn't buy it for themselves. You can get them some mugs, get them a couple of root beers, get ginger ales. I personally like the black cherry. It's a good gift because it's good quality soda. They got all kinds of other stuff on there too. So if you're not sure what to get somebody in your life, a little soda. Don't fuck around. Get them some soda.
and some hot sauces too. And again, veteran owned and operated. So make sure you cool. check them out. All right. So not a lot going on in the video game minute this week, as you and I still don't have a PlayStation 5. So we have nothing to fucking talk about. But I hear my birdies tell me that the next drop for consoles is Wednesday. So this week, Wednesday, and then obviously Black Friday. The issue is you have to compete against bots. So like all these people are using bots to buy many of these things, which is kind of a fucking pain in the ass. And I've now up to 4 or 5 times where I've actually had the PlayStation in my cart.
No.
And then hit checkout and it wouldn't let me check out.
No.
Yeah, it's happened 4 or 5 times. And so Walmart is again on Wednesday night. And then I think everyone else, so like Target, Amazon, Best Buy. They're all going Black Friday. So make sure you are ready for that. So the new game that I would say is noteworthy that came out this week, it's called Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Basically, think of Dynasty Warriors set in the land of Zelda. So you get to play as Link, but also as other characters as well. And it's kind of, like I said, kind of like a Dynasty Warriors type game.
Okay.
You're fighting like 100 dudes at once. It's pretty fucking crazy.
Love that.
It looks really good. It's getting pretty good reviews. So make sure you guys, if you have a Nintendo Switch and love Zelda, check it out. This is right up your alley. It's a prequel to Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
So if you're into that, check that out. Naturally, there are a ton of game deals going on right now ahead of Black Friday. So I know PlayStation Network, I know Xbox Live, they're doing, or Xbox Marketplace, whatever they call it now. There is a ton of Black Friday deals going on right now. One of note, Doom Eternal is like $17 on PlayStation Network right now.
There you go.
That's one of the better games I played this year, and that's an absolute steal at $17. And the last bit of news I have is now we're getting word from the PlayStation people that lots of games are getting next-gen upgrades for free, including Borderlands 3 and The Last of Us is getting a next-gen upgrade for free.
Okay,
so
cool.
Make sure you check those out. So this is the week. If you had anything you wanted to play on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, or whatever, now's the time to get it. If you're just sitting pretty, with your, like an old timer with your PlayStation 4, your Xbox One,
PS4, like a jackass,
like a dickhead.
I did see our friend Goo from the Mac and Goo podcast. Mac and Goo both have PS5
show offs.
Goo was saying that his was freezing on him several times.
He also has shit internet. So
you know what? Could be the internet.
Yeah,
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Anytime we do like a thing with Goo, like he's like recording himself on like a Nokia phone.
It does. He's sitting there with a baked potato trying to like join the chat. Like that's not gonna work.
Like wires in it. It's like lighting like a little
like, this should be fine. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, you ready for the topic du jour? Well, I'm glad you asked because it's the topic of the day. And today it is ranking the streaming services. I want to give a shout out to CJ who emailed us this idea because last week we were saying we have a few openings in November. December's pretty full with ideas, but November's kind of open. So feel free to send us some ideas. We got a bunch of good ones. And this one I really liked a lot. So this
and you know what I have thanks to, was it CJ you said?
I think CJ, yeah.
Thanks to CJ. Copious notes. If you notice my face is very lit up right now, it's because I have a huge document open right now for copious notes.
Did you take copious notes?
I did.
All right. Well, good.
So
here's what I think we're going to do. I wasn't sure how we should do this. I tried coming up with, I think I got 10. There might be 11 streaming services. And I don't mean like, YouTube TV or like the PlayStation thing, like how to watch your cable. I mean like things that have specific catalogs and original programming that you can pay for because it seems like there's a million of these goddamn things. So what we'll do first is we'll go through them in alphabetical order and we'll just talk about the price, the pros, the cons, that kind of thing. And then at the end, we could sort of say basically which ones do you have to have, which ones are nice to have, and which ones do you not need. And we'll try to like rank them accordingly. All right. That sound good?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's start with Amazon Prime. Which is $12.99 a month. And I don't give a shit about the free shipping or the, all that nonsense. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the actual things you can stream, what you can watch.
Yes. So this is a bit misleading. So we talk about price first, right?
Yes.
$12.99 is the price for just Amazon Prime Video. Now, if you are an Amazon Prime member, you get it for free.
Yeah, but how much is Amazon Prime a month?
Like $80 a year.
Okay, but all right. So it's a little bit less.
It's a little bit less. Yeah.
A lot of these that I'm going to say, I'm going to give you the monthly price, but chances are you can pay for a full year and it would knock off some of the price.
Right. But again, with Amazon Prime comes your free 2-day shipping. It comes with a bunch of other benefits and stuff like that. So I would recommend going that route. Now, this, I did a little bit differently where I ranked all of these. I went through the trouble of like ranking all of them.
All right.
Amazon Prime is number 2 on my list. This is a must.
Out of your fucking mind.
No, I'm not. Because the original.
I don't care about the shipping.
Oh, you
Are
think
you talking about 2-day shipping? I don't care.
No. What I was going to say was that like this has right now, as I sit here, the best original programming for any streaming service. Let me run down the list. The Boys.
Great show.
Wayne, which I
haven't seen it
recommend.
yet. Okay.
Lore.
Haven't seen it.
Utopia.
Great.
You're watching it right now.
I like it so far, yeah.
Borat. Miss
The
Maisel.
movie.
Bosch. Sneaky Pete. Like these things, these original series are fucking great. And they have a great selection of movies, like movies that aren't anywhere else. So that's why I would highly recommend Prime. Okay. People talk about Man in the High Castle. I haven't watched that yet. People rave about it.
That's with Rob Stark, right?
Yeah. So like, honest to God, Prime is number 2 on my list. So tell
Prime.
me I'm out of my mind.
It seems like you're out of your mind. I'm
not, though.
Well, and, to be fair, I've only seen The Boys and Utopia, and I like those. I feel like overall, when we talk about shows or like over the course of the year, when someone's like, have you seen blank? I feel like it's not on Amazon Prime as much as it is on some of the other ones that we're going to get to.
Mm-hmm.
The movie thing, with a lot of these, it's a little tricky because they kind of come and go.
Yep.
Right. So they might have a movie for 6 months and then it's gone. So it's like it's hard to kind of wait that a little bit.
They kind of rotate too. And one of the things that I would say, the only knock I would say about Amazon Prime is finding movies on Amazon Prime is real tough.
So
their interface sucks.
I think the interface is worth mentioning here. Like as long like with price and just like the ease of the app, I'm with you. Like when I go to Prime, I'm just looking. I need to specifically know what I'm looking for. I like search The Boys, and then I go to it and I watch it. It's like it's not as smooth as some of the others are. That's true. Apple TV. Did you mute yourself? I can't hear you. I lost you. Is that just me? Can anybody else hear Davey? I can't hear you. You fucker. I can't hear you at all. Can you guys in the chat hear Davey, or is that just me? I'll fix this in post, obviously. I'll clean it all up. Muted. Yep, thanks. All right.
How are we doing now?
Better.
Okay.
All right. What happened?
It's a whole thing.
All right.
Anyway, so Apple TV, really no interest in Apple TV. And it's because there isn't really a lot on there I want to watch. I mean, I don't know why this is necessary, even if it's $4.99. Like I have an Apple TV. Am I muted?
Yeah.
Or am I good?
No, I can hear you now. No, I think they're just chiming in that you were muted.
I've heard good things about Mythic Quest, the show with Rob McElhenney. I've heard good things about that. People are all over us about like Ted Lasso, the Jason Sudeikis show.
Yes. So speaking of that, so we mentioned Nick Fitzy Stevens earlier, who didn't like who was not a fan of Christmas Vacation. He's a huge Ted Lasso guy. Loves Ted Lasso. Yep. So he's speaking very highly of it. What's the show with Jennifer Aniston? Was it Newsroom?
Something about Newsroom or something like that.
Was that what it was?
News or something? Yeah.
So but it's not for me, and I don't have an Apple TV. I'm certainly not going to spend $5 on it. And besides Ted Lasso, it seems like they have nothing. Doesn't seem like there's much content there. So,
and their big thing was like they struck a deal with PBS, so like they get all the Charlie Brown stuff, like the Charlie Brown.
Fine,
great, but
don't care.
I have no interest in Apple TV,
so I'm out on Apple TV.
Yeah.
One I forgot to mention on our list, Ryan, is CBS All Access.
This thing sucks. CBS All Access sucks.
Blows. It actually blows. And so what happened was, the only reason why I even came up with it is so in my TV downstairs, I don't have the cable box. So I still have a cable box, but downstairs I don't. I have a smart TV. And so I just started downloading like a million apps. Like whatever I can possibly get on there, I have on the TV downstairs. And I was like, oh, well, what if I want to watch the Patriots down here and they're on CBS? So I'm like, I'll log into it. And she's like, most things, if you pay for cable, you can also get the like CW app or the AMC app or whatever. CBS, even if you're paying for it, they make you pay extra for the CBS All Access app, which it's funny that that's what it's called because they don't even have some of their own shows. Like apparently like The Amazing Race and some of these like really popular shows that I didn't watch, but these CBS shows, they don't even have on their app. So it seems useless. It seems like an absolute waste of money. I'd put this at the bottom of the list.
You know, like when you have to when you first start the app and you have to go to a website to activate it and they give you a code.
Yeah.
Every time I've tried to use CBS, I have to do it every single time.
Awful.
And it's the worst user experience ever. It sucks. And then some things, like you said, where I'm in Connecticut, if the Patriots are on CBS, right? And the way it works in Connecticut is they flip weeks. So if like the Jets and the Patriots are both on at one, you get one of them. So like even if I can't watch the Patriots,
terrible,
because it's all like it's regional. It sucks. It's terrible.
It stinks.
Yeah.
What about Crackle, Ryan?
So Crackle. Here's my notes on Crackle.
It's free. First of all,
it's free.
Yeah.
But it has like one or two. I found like one of the things I did in my copious notes is I put the best movies I found on each of the things.
Okay.
And there are some hidden gems in Crackle, but 95% of it is garbage.
Yeah.
It's absolute garbage. Like it's all B action, like Steven Seagal movies from a year ago that you've never heard of. Or horror movies that they're like a knockoff of like another horror movie. Or like like they used to do like the scary movies.
Yes.
But they're like those types of things. I saw one. It was the worst movie I've ever seen. It was called, I wanted to watch it just to see how far I could get.
Yeah.
It was called The Hungover Games. So it was like the Hangover plus like the Hunger Games.
Take a hike.
I made it 5 minutes. It was the dumbest thing ever. But I found these 3 movies on Crackle. Bronson with Tom Hardy, which is fucking awesome. That movie's the shit.
All right.
The original Bad News Bears, which you can't really find anywhere else.
Oh, good one.
And Sound City, which is a documentary with Dave Grohl and where the studio where they recorded all these like legendary albums. So it's actually a pretty good movie, but
random
random shit.
Yeah. Disney Plus, which is $6.99 a month. Now again, I did I think $69 for the year. You can also do a bundle with a couple of other things, but if you're just interested in Disney Plus, you can get it for $7 a month. And here's how I would break down Disney Plus. It has been wildly disappointing to this point. New content for me is just The Mandalorian. We're into season 2. Next year at this time, I think I'll be talking about Disney Plus in a higher regard, because WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, we know that they're making Moon Knight and She-Hulk and What If and like a few other Marvel shows. So I think it'll pay for itself eventually, but right now it's not. It is nice to know, however, that I can watch any Star Wars movie or any MCU movie or any X-Men the animated series or any episode of The Simpsons at any time. That's nice. But as far as new content, it's been really lacking.
And this is all contextual too, because one of the things that Disney Plus is 5 on my list. So it's like right in the middle. And I think, like you said, it takes a lot of heat for not bringing out the Marvel stuff quick enough.
Yes.
But this is absolutely an up and comer. I think this is the challenger to like the top 3. It is in the Davey household. It is probably the most watched streaming service.
Okay. Well, with 2 young girls, that makes sense.
And they are 6 and 4, so they are right in the middle of like where this needs to be. Like they watch Disney movies all the time. Like they love them.
Smart.
And like there's some kids series on there that I really, really like. Muppets Now. I don't know if you've seen the new Muppet show.
Yep, I love Muppets. Anything Muppets.
So Pepe, the King Kong, he's hilarious.
He had that one thing where he was hosting his game show.
Yeah.
And it like Scooter was just so mad because he wasn't following the rules. It was like it was laugh out loud funny.
It was funny. Like it was legitimately funny. And the kid's name was Artoon, and he kept calling him cartoons.
Like it was.
And the Swedish Chef show on that one with Danny Trejo.
So good.
So funny. So funny. So that's actually really good.
I love the host of it. The
turkey?
female turkey.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So all the Marvel stuff, and the Mandalorian's been fantastic. So like you said, any Marvel or Star Wars stuff that you want to watch, because I watch that stuff. I got to tell you, like Disney Plus is definitely worth the $6.99.
Yeah,
it's worth
I think
every
for
penny.
You, so my daughter,
once DC gets a little older, you'll appreciate it a little bit more.
So we watch Moana with her. She loves Moana. But she's at the age too where like if you put on like a song, she's in for the song, or like an episode of Sesame, which we'll get to coming up, by the way. She's in for that. But like a full animated movie, she's too young for that right now. Yeah. But I'm sure like I'll be in. But on the one hand, I complain about paying for that, but I love knowing that, oh, I'm going to go watch Clone Wars right now. Boom, they're all there.
Yep.
Or I'm going to go watch, I think they have Who Framed Roger Rabbit. They have a
They
bunch
do.
of the Muppet movies. I think they have Home Alone still.
They
Or
do.
did.
So we're watching. My girls watch Home Alone every day, every goddamn day.
So
they love it.
I'll be doing that shortly.
Yep.
So, you know what? Now that you mention it, starting December 1st, there's a lot of good Christmas related movies on there. So I'll be using it a lot more coming up. So I'm glad I have it. I've been disappointed overall because I think it'll be better next year.
I think you gotta. It's patient. It's patience, and so we'll get into that too with the bundle and all that stuff.
Yes,
right.
That's true. So the next one is the most expensive streaming service on here.
Yes.
And again, depending on how you get it, there are multiple ways to get this, but it'd be HBO Max, $14.99 a month. Now they've sort of taken like the HBO Go, the HBO Now, all that stuff, and so. For me, anyway, I subscribe to HBO through Xfinity, and therefore, because of whatever their deal is, I automatically get HBO Max.
Yes.
And so think of HBO Max as every single thing that HBO owns, all of their series, all that stuff is there. Ever.
Yeah.
All of the movies that sort of rotate through, but they get usually first crack at movies that are like after they're on demand, they sort of go to HBO, at least a good amount of them. But to compete with a lot of these ones that we're talking about, they went out and bought all of Rick and Morty, all of South Park, all of Friends, and all of a few other ones.
So they have, and the other thing that's a big thing that people sleep on is like the Studio Ghibli. Like people sleep on that, like the like the animated, like Japanese animated movie stuff. Like that shit's really fucking good.
I also love. So to me, this one's a must-have. I know it's expensive, but it's a must-have because I feel like their TV shows are the best over the course of the year. I think they're like, so Watchmen was one of our top 3 or 4 from last year, and so was Barry, both HBO shows. I'm currently watching The Undoing, really good. I watched Big Little Lies when that was out. That was really good. The Wire is one of my favorite shows of all time. The Sopranos is some people's favorite show of all time. Curb Your Enthusiasm is one of people's favorite shows of all time. I love like True Blood, Boardwalk Empire, all that shit, The Leftovers, all of that's available to you. And whatever show they put out Sunday night at 9 is worth at least starting. You might not love it, but it's worth starting. And their movies are good. Like if you miss a movie in the theaters, a couple months later, there's a decent chance it pops up on HBO and you can see if you want to watch it there.
Yeah, and they do get like the biggest blockbuster movies first. And one of the things you didn't mention, all the DC stuff, the DC universe is all on HBO.
Great point. They moved Titans and all those shows over there. Good
that's
point.
All now on HBO Max instead of what
Harley
DC
Quinn. I got to watch that Harley Quinn show. I heard it's good.
Yeah. So like you said, HBO Max is worth it if you haven't seen a specific HBO series, and now you can just blow through it. Like if you've never seen Game of Thrones, you can just rip.
I didn't even mention Game of Thrones. Good
you
point.
didn't even mention it, but like you could rip through all of Game of Thrones in a month.
Right. Yep.
You know, and I think that was probably the better way to watch it.
That's what I did. So I gave my dad my HBO password, and I was like, "You got to watch these shows." And this was before the last season came out, and he shotgunned all of Game of Thrones, and then caught up to it for the last season and loved it.
And you know what? So, like you said, I might eventually go back and watch the rest of The Wire, just because now I can.
Yes, it's there.
You know, I'm trying to think of what I would rewatch The Sopranos again.
Yep.
I have friends who are doing it right now, and I'm like, that's kind of not a bad idea. I haven't seen The Sopranos in like 10 years, or like when it went off the air. I loved it, but it's worth a rewatch. And
also, if we're gonna give Disney Plus credit for this, HBO also has Sesame Street now.
Yes, it does.
So my daughter watches Sesame Street every single goddamn day.
It's good. It's good
for her. As you're making dinner for her or whatever it is, you need to chill for a second, watch a Sesame every day. And so without HBO, I don't know what we would do. So HBO to me is at the tippity top of this list.
There it is. There you go.
Ryan, this one I get crap for because I do not subscribe to it. I will dip in and out depending on the free sample or whatever it might be. But that'd be Hulu, which on its own is $5.99.
Yep.
Now you can bundle this with Disney Plus and ESPN Plus, which we didn't include because that's
which I do. Yeah, it's sports. It's whatever.
It's just sports.
Yeah.
Hulu though, $6. A lot of TV. A lot of people will watch this. Like if you missed something because they have deals with like FX and FXX and like NBC. So a lot of their shows immediately pop up on Hulu. But like I have cable, so I can just DVR those shows. That's why I don't think Hulu's as important. But things like Palm Springs was a Hulu exclusive, which is one of the better movies that came out this year. And there are definitely a few things that pop up that seem like you want to watch that happen to be on Hulu.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Hulu is the best streaming service available.
You are drunk.
I am not. I am not drunk because when you think about it, so if you bundle ESPN Plus and Hulu with your Disney Plus account, it goes up to I think $11.99. So like that is it's essentially free. It's pennies on the dollar. Mm-hmm. Now it has the best both live and regular TV around. It has Seinfeld. It has the entire Seinfeld library, like,
which, by the way, is going to be going to Netflix.
And like next year,
at some point, I think next year. So it's not there yet, but at some point it is going to be going there.
So let me rip off some of the shows that I watch on Hulu: Seinfeld, Fargo, both the movie and the series, Letterkenny, Hot Ones, Atlanta, What We Do in the Shadows, Pen 15, You're the Worst, Always Sunny, Baskets, Solar Opposites, Rick and Morty. Like all of these shows are on Hulu right now. And like you said, so their original programming, like Palm Springs, for example, that movie's incredible. And they're coming out with better and better stuff. So this is the one that's, I would say, my favorite streaming service. The one I watch the most is Hulu.
Not even close. I guess Hulu, the way you present it, makes a lot more sense if you don't have cable because
which I don't.
Yeah. Right. So that's why it'd be higher on your list than on mine. So I still have regular Xfinity.
Yeah.
So all those shows, so when the new season of It's Always Sunny comes out, I'll DVR it and I'll just watch it there. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of those shows that you mentioned, I can watch anyway without Hulu. They're not exactly Hulu exclusives.
They're not Hulu exclusives, but they're exclusive to the Hulu streaming service. So Hulu has
that's tough. Yeah,
has everything FX.
Yeah,
is Hulu, and Fox and like FX is all Hulu.
Oh, by the way, in the chat, CT Rebel was asking about the Fraggles.
They do have HBO has Fraggles.
It used to be on HBO.
It's not on there anymore?
Believe it or not. No, because I used to watch it on there. I used to watch it all the time. I believe, this is going to sound crazy, I believe somehow, some way, it's on Apple TV. I don't ask me how.
I thought
it's like the one fucking thing they have is Fraggles, which makes me almost want to buy it. But it used to be HBO because it was like an original HBO show, but for some reason it's not on HBO Max. I don't know why. I don't know.
Interesting. Fraggles was on there for a long time.
Oh, it 100% was on HBO. Yeah. It originated as an HBO show, and just last year I was watching on HBO. It left.
But I thought I was speaking to you were coming to your senses, and you could actually get Hulu for nothing. It's like $3 a month.
Yeah, I know, but
I understand that you're the George Costanza of the group. You're careful with your money.
I am very careful. I just don't. What would I go to Hulu? Let me ask you this: what would I go to Hulu specifically to watch?
Right now,
yes.
Anything on FX?
I have FX.
That's true. Solar Opposites. You watched that yet?
So that would be a show. Yep.
Letterkenny.
Morty guys. Yeah, I've never seen Letterkenny.
Letterkenny's pretty funny.
Okay. All right. So
the Peanut Butter Falcon is a movie that's on Hulu right now.
Okay.
So I mean, there's stuff on there that you would go there specifically to watch.
Right. So we could circle back to that at the end.
And the movie someone mentioned in the chat, the movie The Binge with Vince Vaughn that I told you about.
All right, I'll watch that. Vince Vaughn. Ryan, the next one is one that I think, if it's not number one, I feel like you're overthinking it. It's probably my number one because they just have so much content that maybe the hit percentage isn't as high, but there's just so many of it. And that's Netflix. It's simple. I think they just upped it $1. It's like $13.99 for the standard HD package where you can have like two people watching at once. Mm-hmm. I think that's what most people have. So they just upped it $1. But I feel like Netflix is, first of all, it's what everybody has. So when a popular show comes out, everybody's seen it. So if you're the one asshole who doesn't have Netflix and you're like, hey, did you see Tiger King? You're like, no, what's that on? You're like, it's on fucking Netflix. Everybody's watching it. You need to see it.
Yeah.
I think the movies are very hit or miss. They actually have a surprisingly pretty good catalog. They just don't advertise it very well. Like they have really good movies like buried in there, but they really just showcase their original content, which admittedly is hit or miss, but the hits The hits, Ryan, I think you should leave. You would never have seen I think you should leave if you didn't have Netflix.
That very well may be true, Richard. Yeah. That's very true. Yeah. But the knock I have on Netflix, and I told you I would circle back to this.
Mm-hmm.
You were saying you peaked in 8th grade.
I did.
Right?
I did.
Netflix is that fucking 6-foot kid, that 6-foot 12-year-old in Little League who is fucking better than everybody, and then everyone's just slowly catching up to him. Like, I feel like they have taken their foot off. First of all, they keep raising their fucking prices. Like, who the hell do you think you are? Yeah. The one thing that I would say I can see that Netflix has over anybody right now is they do the best stand-up. They have the best stand-up is on Netflix right now.
I would say 2 for comedy specials and documentary, like murder, true crime documentaries.
Right. But like Crackle, 80% of Netflix is crap.
Okay. But the 20% that I'm interested in that I actually go to
is good.
I just feel like if I had, and I have most of these. Yeah. I have most of these. I'll tell you, once we get to the end, I'll tell you which ones I have. I have most of them. I feel like I do spend the most time on Netflix. As Steve in the chat points out, they have Chappelle Show now. As Rebel points out, they have TV Halloween.
Yeah. You the Sandler thing really bothers me. I know I'm in the minority. It bothers me that it's just
but don't worry about it then. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry. Don't waste.
Don't worry. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat
it. For every.
Did you watch Queen's Gambit?
Not yet. I mean, that's on my list. Yeah.
People love it. Like my wife loved it. I think, liked it fine. But I'm just saying they pump out originals. Now, I'll give you this. Most of the original movies are bad.
They stink.
Some are worth watching. Extraction was pretty good. I'm glad I watched Extraction.
Was anything as good as Palm Springs?
Probably not. Palm Springs is good.
The answer is no.
Palm Springs. But what's the second best Hulu movie?
Like
at least Netflix is taking swings out there.
Binge. Yeah, I mean, Netflix has names. Like
how good, and I know they don't have them now, but for a while, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Punisher, like how good were those shows?
Daredevil was good.
Daredevil was great, dude.
Jessica Jones, season 1 of Jessica Jones was the shit. That's true. Yeah.
Oh, the Devil All the Time. Oh, fucking. What about Mindhunter?
Mindhunter was good.
You liked Mindhunter.
I did like Mindhunter. But you get what I'm saying. Look, for every one of those shows, there's 10 shows that are fucking dreadful.
Yeah, but I don't give a shit if the batting average is bad, but they hit the most home runs. I want the guy with the home runs.
You like the long ball?
Of course I like the long ball. What the fuck to you?
I'm Tony Gwynn, and you're Barry Bonds. Actually, Barry Bonds won a Triple Crown, didn't he?
Barry Bonds never won the Triple Crown.
He didn't?
I don't think he ever had the best batting average in the league.
I thought he was up. I thought he was trying to at one point. He almost did it.
Miguel Cabrera won the Triple Crown.
He sure did.
Yeah,
he sure did.
Dude, I'm telling you, Netflix is, and like Unsolved Mysteries even was kind of a disappointment, but there's just more stuff on Netflix. Like going back to Making a Murderer, The Staircase, they kill it with the true crime stuff.
They do.
Don't fuck with cats.
I didn't watch that.
Ugh, I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, for psychos like me who are into that stuff, they do a great job. The stand-up specials are fantastic. If you happen to be like me or your wife and like the CW shows, as soon as the CW shows are over, Riverdale, boom, pops up on Netflix. Not bad.
Yeah,
All American. My wife liked that show. Pops up on Netflix.
Riverdale. Cheer was awesome,
dude. And like there was Creep a Netflix original?
No, but it was on Netflix.
Oh, but it quickly came to Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay. But they have good horror movies on there?
Now Netflix is 3 on my list.
All right, so that's not bad.
So I mean, I go Hulu, Prime, Netflix, HBO Max. Well, that's 1 to 4.
Let me just rip through it. We have 3 more.
Yeah. Okay.
Peacock, which
not necessary, but will be soon. Not relevant, but will be soon.
And I believe there's like 3 different tiers. There's like a free tier, which you get limited programming. There's like middle price, I think, that you get like some ads, and there's $9.99 a month. And right now, Peacock is you don't need it. But eventually, once, and I believe in 2021, this is going to be huge for a lot of people.
Yes.
The Office is going to be leaving Netflix and going to Peacock.
Parks and Rec already did.
It already did?
I think Parks and Rec is already on.
Oh, Parks and
Peacock.
Rec already did.
Yeah.
I believe Seinfeld, though, because of some sort of deal, Seinfeld is going to Netflix and Friends is on HBO Max. So just because it's an NBC show doesn't necessarily mean it's on Peacock, which is confusing.
I know. I think the other thing too is that Seinfeld has like a deal with Netflix now for like his specials. So I think that included the series.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how that worked, but they basically like bought that out too.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So right now Peacock means nothing to me. However, when we get the MacGruber TV show, it is going to be very important to have.
Very important. They also have Friday Night Lights.
Love that show, which used to be on Netflix. Also, then that got yanked. Two others: Shudder, which is $5.99 a month, and this is for horror movie freaks.
And there's so many good movies on Shudder. Yeah. So many. I just haven't pulled the trigger on this yet, but I did like the free 7-day trial.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Shudder's awesome.
Loaded.
It's loaded. I think at the time too, their prices come way down. I think they were like $10 a month or something.
Yeah, I think they overshot that. Isn't it like an AMC subsidiary? I believe.
I think so, but they have any horror movie you can think of.
Right. Yeah.
Like original Halloween, all the Friday the 13th movies, all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, like all of those are on Shudder, and some new ones too. So that might be something to look into.
Next Dorktober, we need to push for a Shudder sponsorship and get Shudder.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's what we need to do.
Just like a year of Shudder. Like that's all I want.
And the last one, Ryan, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention my favorite
You did this
one.
Alphabetically on purpose.
I did. My favorite of all of these, Tubi. TUBI.
TubiTV.com.
It's free for you. It's free for me. And they also have a series of like C+ horror movies.
They do. But this is another one. It's free. It has really decent movies and shit you can't find anywhere else. So like I think I watched 4 George Carlin stand-up specials.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Which you can't watch that anywhere else. Drive is on Tubi.
Yep.
Spawn
was I think not Troll 2. Actually, Troll 2 might have been on there.
Troll and Troll 2 are actually on HBO Max right now.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
I think the best worst movie documentary about Troll 2 was on Tubi.
That's on Tubi. Stop Making Sense, the Talking Heads documentary, which is awesome. Wind River, which is one of my favorite movies, is on Tubi. And
random shit's on Tubi.
Bait.
Dude, Jamie Foxx is the man.
Is on Tubi.
Jamie Foxx is the man. So, looking at this list, we have 11 different streaming services on here. The ones in which I have access to are Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Netflix.
Free ones count?
Now, obviously, Tubi, there's a free version of Peacock and Crackle. I technically have all of those.
Yes.
I still think, Ryan, that I probably spend the most time on Netflix.
I spend the most time on Hulu, believe it or not. And I would say that's my favorite show of the year.
That's a big distinction right there.
Yeah.
Is if you have cable, I don't think Hulu's as important. And if you don't, then the value of Hulu goes way up.
And especially when you bundle it in with Disney Plus, it's pennies. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The ones I have access to: Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Hulu, Netflix, and
then technically Peacock,
Tubi, and Crackle. Yeah. So the only thing I think I have Hulu and you don't, but I also have I bundled ESPN Plus.
You bundled them all together.
Yeah.
Because I would go Netflix, HBO Max, Prime as my 1, 2, 3, knowing that Disney Plus could jump up easy to 3 and maybe higher depending on how next year goes for Disney Plus.
Yeah. I mean, January, like next year, as in like January.
Yes. Oh yeah, 2 months.
WandaVision comes out January, right? So that could jump. That could jump up to easily a top 3. And
for sure,
the production value on those shows are what they say they're going to be, what Feige said they're going to be. Like they're basically they're movies. According to him, they just stretched out over a longer period of time.
I know,
but we'll see. Disney Plus could fucking make the leap here.
All right. Hey, you got anything else on these?
No.
All right.
Hulu. Check out Hulu.
Hey, you like Hulu? All right.
I love Hulu.
If any of these want to sponsor us, we're on board because we are open to all of them.
Shudder.
The problem is, what's crazy is, like, as again, somebody who's a frugal fanny, it adds up. You're like, oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Like $7, $7, $10, $10, $15, $13.
But again, I'm not paying $80 for cable right now, so
true. That's true.
It doesn't bother me. Yeah.
All right.
Pick of the pond. Pick of the pond.
Pick of the pond. Pick of the pond.
All right, Ryan, would you like to kick, receive, defer, or defend a goal?
I always defer. I'll kick this time.
All right, I will receive. So I actually, these are 3-4 different things that we've talked about before, but I just want to bring them back at this point. So one, Utopia. I'm 6 of 8 episodes in.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen the whole thing.
Yes.
I don't know if it's worth a standalone because I feel like we were late to the game. But I'm curious, what would your dork score be without giving anything away about the ending? What's your dork score?
4.5.
Okay. Yeah.
4.5, soft 5. No,
there's a
hard 4.5.
There's a couple things. 4.5, you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Couple things I really love about it, a couple things I don't. So once I'm done with it, I'll talk to you about it. Maybe we'll do an end of the episode thing for people that have seen it. Have you watched Truth Seekers yet?
I watched the first 2 episodes, and you were right. I love it.
This is like great. Right up your alley.
Yeah,
so that show was quick because that was like 60 minutes. So that's another Amazon Prime show. So that's another point for Prime.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty good. And then The Undoing has 1 episode left. That show's been good on HBO, the Nicole Kidman one. That's really good. So the finale is this Sunday. And then so Truth Seekers, Utopia, The Undoing. Oh, and I finished Queen's Gambit. Good. I would say good. People were going on and on. Apparently, it is the most watched Netflix original ever.
Mm-hmm.
It broke all the records. What they do is the first 28 days that it's live, how many people stream it, and it was the most watched ever. It's got your girl Anya Taylor-Joy in it, and yeah, I know.
I didn't say anything.
I thought it was good, but like people are going crazy, like that it's the greatest. It's to me, it's not the greatest show. Like when we do in January, like the Dork Awards for 2020. This is not going to be a finalist for best show, I don't think. But
no,
I'm glad I watched it. It was worth watching.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, what do you got?
So this is right up your alley. If you are an HBO Max person, there is a documentary on there called Crazy, Not Insane. And it is, here's a brief synopsis. Our interest in serial killers often involves wanting to know the gory details or the salacious motives behind such heinous acts. But diving deep into why someone like a serial killer chooses to kill is a detail sometimes left in the shadows. Enter Dr. Dorothy Lewis, a psychiatrist who has spent her life examining such people that society would rather forget, get rid of, or simply look at as a monster in a true crime story. Crazy Not Insane is a half portrait, half investigation about her work, addressed with infectious curiosity by director Alex Gibney.
Is this currently out?
It's currently just came out. It's called Crazy Not Insane.
Yep.
Something you would so there you go.
And
so I watched to be honest, I haven't watched the whole thing yet. I did watch the first like 20 minutes prior to this episode, and I can tell it's something that you are going to watch.
Is it just a one-off or is it a series?
It's a one-off.
Okay.
So
that could be a standalone episode potentially.
It could be. It depends if this is going the way I think it is. It's pretty criminal psychology is pretty fascinating, and she's like one of the
all-time
foremost authorities on like serial killers. So
I love it.
There you go, man.
I love it. Oh, by the way, I haven't watched it yet, but I think there's only 2 episodes left of Fargo, but that has not been great.
I'm still on episode 4. Like I can't.
It's
just
not
like pulling
good.
Teeth, man. Jesus Christ.
It is a slog.
This is not a spoiler, but does any of it actually take place in Fargo?
We're
still in fucking Kansas City.
All Kansas City.
So why
they mentioned Fargo like twice?
Yeah.
But you remember the one dude that was in season 2 of Fargo who was from Kansas City? Like that's
Anyway. That's basically what it is. Yeah.
Mandalorian. Real quick spoilers here on episode 4 of The Mandalorian. I thought it was good. I like some of the teases. Apparently, this was unearthed on the internet. Our producer from Dale and Keefe, John Anderson, pointed me out to this. Apparently, at one point, you're like, you know how obviously there's Moff Gideon and them. They're trying to get Baby Yoda, and they're trying to do all this stuff, and like whether it's clones or other shit that they're dealing with. Apparently, at one point in the episode, they play like Snoke's music.
Yes. So when they're in the lab, when they see the thing in like the test tube, and they're like, "What is that?" Like, and they start playing like Snoke's music. But the other thing that's interesting, and why I brought up Fallen Order, is they have what I assume that they're doing with the child is they're taking his blood, and they said something about an MD count.
Mandalorian.
So it's like like a metachlorian.
Or metachlorian. Mandalorian.
Like a metachlorian count.
Yes.
No, like MD count or something, metachlorian count or something like that. So they mentioned that. And so what I think is they're trying to make force sensitive stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Or force sensitive clones, which do show up in Fallen Order.
Well, then they also had at the very end of the episode, they show you like the dark troopers or whatever.
Yeah.
Like all those guys hanging out.
Right. So
yeah, it's interesting. I think that this show is in good hands with Dave Filoni, who did the Clone Wars. And I think some of the issues that we had with the new trilogy, like Snoke and all the Palpatine stuff, I bet they try to tie some of that up here.
Well, the other thing too is like where did the First Order come from? And I think this show is going to answer that, like where the first Order comes from.
Yeah, I think so. So we still haven't seen Ahsoka Tano. That could very well be this episode coming up.
And we have 3 episodes left?
4.
4. Okay.
We're 4 in. I also thought, now I read an Alan Sepinwall review where he was saying how this kind of felt like maybe like an origin for the rumored Cara Dune spinoff. That's the character that Gina Carano plays.
She is in some hot water, and I am okay. I don't really care, because I believe that if you're going to have an opinion, you better be ready for someone to have the opposite opinion.
Yeah,
she has the opposite opinion of the world as I do.
Yeah.
And people are calling for her to get fired and like all this shit. That's stupid. Don't be stupid.
Right.
She's just let her do it. I mean, whatever. I don't really care.
Yeah, like me, I really don't give a shit about what she's like tweeting about. But I'll just tell you this: her character is boring,
pretty flat.
Her character, I don't care about. Now, if she's in The Mandalorian as a background character, side character, doing whatever, shooting guns, fine. Helping out Mando every once in a while, fine. But can you imagine a spin-off show centered around her? No fucking way.
No way. And I'm not speculating right now. I'm making a joke. I'm going to preface this by saying I'm making a joke.
That's the best jokes are always told like this.
I know, but like people can be like, Davey said I didn't. Jon Favreau at some time had a reputation for putting actresses he was currently in like bigger roles.
Is that right?
That is right. So, for instance, Heather Graham in Swingers.
Oh, they were together?
Together is who else? The head cheerleader from Nikki, the waitress from The Replacement. The Replacements.
Yeah,
the head cheerleader, her, and others. Courtney Cox, I think, at some point he was on Friends.
Courtney
I honestly think
so.
You? I'm serious.
Look it up.
Look it up.
I don't know any of this.
Look it up. Jon Favreau banging co-stars.
I'm not going to Google that.
I'm doing it right now.
I might bing it. I'll bing that.
Bing it. Ask Jeeves. Ask Jeeves about that.
What did Jeeves say? Did you have any hit?
Let's see.
I don't think it's
sleeping. I'm not making it up. So maybe him and Gina Carano have a thing.
Maybe they do. All right, you look that up. You can rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Dork Podcast. You can subscribe on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/Dork Podcast. You can follow us on Facebook. Go to Facebook and type in the hashtag Dork Shared Gooniverse. Find out what's going on with us, Mac and Goo, Pop Culture Pile Driver, Change My Mind Podcast, Furlough Friends, Shime, Dr. Joe on Twitch. And then subscribe to Davey's Twitch channel, twitch.tv/RvonD. You can also go to tpublic.com. And if you're looking for some holiday swag, type in hashtag dork over there. And I would also wait till there's like a sale. There might be a sale going on right now because they really bang you up on the old shipping charges.
No, they kill you on that.
Wait for a sale. There's sales like once a month. But you can get the Davey Video Game Minute shirt, hoodie, whatever you want, dork stuff. It's all over there. But anyway, what do your search results say? Anything?
I can't find it right now. I'm still working on it.
You made that up.
I didn't make it up. I didn't make that up. I'll find it. I'll link you. I'll bing it to you.
Seems a little flimsy.
I'll find it.
All right. I don't know what we got next week. We'll let you know.
We'll figure it out.
We'll let you know on the Twitter. Hey, Ryan, what do they say about wombats?
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Hey, that's
not what they say.
No, I'm glad you mentioned that. By the way,
Yeah.
if you're listening to this on your way to Thanksgiving, I don't know why you're traveling. You should be
home,
down.
dickhead. Yeah.
You should be home. Being safe this Thanksgiving season. But have a good Thanksgiving, though. In all seriousness, have a good Thanksgiving. And so we have one more episode in Movember.
Sure do.
And then it is full on Dorkmas for Dorkmas.
Yeah.
Get ready for Dorkmas.
Get ready for Dorkmas. All right. Good job, everybody. Square poopies.
Yep. God bless.